Hello everybody, welcome to this Move Monday. We are already about halfway through March, and I know last Monday we had our first live boot camp we've had in a while because of February being Heart Health Month. I know I was out, saw a lot of you at a number of the CTA locations, and it was really awesome being able to do the Know Your Numbers campaign. But this month, again, we're focusing on, you may have heard me mention a little bit about it last week during the live boot camp, a lot of nutrition focus this month as well, and that's what I'll be talking about with you today. But before we get into that information today, I just wanted to make sure, as I've previously mentioned, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video you're seeing now, there's many other videos that we've already released, give you a chance to go back and see past videos, as well as knowing when the next ones are gonna be coming out. You'll be able to see those right away. So again, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. And then, also coming up in 2 weeks from today is our next live boot camp. I know we didn't really have too many of those last month, so we'll have 2 of those this month. The next one being 2 weeks from now on the 28th at 12 p.m. So make sure you are tuning in for that if you are able to. I know sometimes there are conflicts with your schedule, but again, make sure you tune in if you can. But today we are going to be talking about something really important, and that is calories, the science of calories, caloric deficit, kind of how to calculate your calories if you are trying to know how many calories you're eating on a daily basis. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So thank you so much for tuning into this one. All right, so just as I previously mentioned, we are talking about calories today. And what is a calorie? A calorie is a unit of energy that we consume through different foods, through beverages, and however many we eat and consume and drink throughout the day gives us an idea of obviously our total caloric intake, but also can kind of give us a better idea of how many calories we're needing to burn throughout the day if we are trying to get into a caloric deficit. So that just means that we are burning more calories than we are consuming. And I'll be explaining a little bit more about that in just a second. But again, you can get calories not just from food, but from drinks. Those sugary beverages, alcohol, different beverages do have a lot of calories in them as well. So just keeping that in mind. Now, there are 3 different types of calorie expenditure. So calorie expenditure, just how many calories we're burning throughout the day. There are 3 different ways that we burn calories throughout the day. One of those is called the resting energy expenditure, or as some of you may have heard me describe it as, out in the field, basal metabolic rate. It's how many calories we are burning at rest, just from our organs functioning, from digesting, from whatever we're doing. Our bodies still burn calories even if we lay around and do nothing all day. I'm not advising you to do that, but we do still burn calories even at rest. The next being the thermic effect of food. Now, the thermic effect of food is what happens when we are eating. When you eat, your body burns more calories because it's needing to digest that food. So your body works really hard to digest that and create the energy needed for that. So you actually burn calories simply from eating. And then the third is how many calories you're burning from physical activity. So just walking around, exercise, any movement you do, your body is burning calories from that. So those 3 areas combined, those 3 ways of burning calories combined, is your total caloric expenditure. So if you're burning calories at rest, through eating food, and through physical activity, that's how many total calories you're gonna be burning throughout the day. So for those of you interested in achieving a caloric deficit, or even trying to achieve a positive caloric amount, one of the most simple ways that I could suggest figuring out how many calories you are eating throughout the day is track your calories as best as you can for about 10 days. Every day for those 10 days, do your best to track everything that you eat and drink, track the calories, but also weigh yourself. Now, I'm not suggesting that you always weigh yourself every single day, because obviously we fluctuate from day to day, but if you look at your total, everything that you've eaten over the course of 10 days and your weight, you'll be able to kind of see different patterns and fluctuations. At the end of that 10 days, look at your body weight and see if it's gone up, gone down, or if it stayed the same. If it stayed the same, you know that about how many calories you're eating is about the exact same amount of calories that you're expending through different activity. So again, after those 10 days, divide your total calories that you've eaten by 10. Then if you feel like you've maintained your weight, you haven't lost anything, what I suggest from there is, if you are trying to get in a caloric deficit, from there, decrease your caloric intake anywhere from about 250 to 500 calories a day. And that is where you'll begin to see a consistent caloric deficit leading to some fat loss. So now that's gonna be one of the easiest ways to, not necessarily that it's easy, but one of the easier ways to have a better idea of how many calories you should be eating. If you're already losing weight over the course of those 10 days, then you probably don't need a caloric deficit. If you're gaining weight, then you have an idea of that you could decrease some calories. So again, track it over the course of 10 days, divide that total number of calories by 10, and then add or subtract calories from there to know if you need to decrease or increase caloric intake. And the last thing I really wanted to talk about in this video today is tips in ways to make it easier to cut those calories. One of the very first being, don't drink your calories. I know it's super easy to, pick up a Mountain Dew, Coke, or a Dr. Pepper, and you drink it with your meal. If you drink a bottle of Dr. Pepper, that's gonna be another 200 plus calories alone right there that you just drink, and it feels like nothing pretty much. So again, don't drink your calories, try to drink more water, or if you need to, diet sodas or beverages, teas, different things that are very low in calories. The next thing is limiting your processed foods. So try to eat as few processed foods as possible. They're almost always gonna be more densely packed, not only with different chemicals and things that might not be as healthy for you, but also usually higher in calories. So it's easier to eat more calories from foods that are processed, more so pre-packaged foods, which leads me into the third thing, eating more home-cooked meals. So you're more than likely, not necessarily always going to be eating healthier from a home-cooked meal, but the more home-cooked meals you eat, the less likely you are to eat highly processed foods. You're more likely to eat leaner proteins, likely to eat more vegetables and fruits, things like that. So those are gonna be the easiest ways, the healthiest ways to cut calories, simply by limiting processed foods, cooking more, and drinking less of your calories. So that's all of the information today for today's Move Monday. Again, talking about calories, caloric deficit, and ways to get into that caloric deficit. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. Again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.